This is the Digital Marketing Experts Podcast episode. No, why am I trying to sound like a radio announcer? Experts in the Wire, episode 102. Aysun Akarsu. Hey everyone, welcome to episode 102 of Experts on the Wire. My guest today, Aysun Akarsu, is a data scientist and SEO and was a part of a panel at TechSEO Boost in Boston. We had a chance to sit down and chat all about things like crawl first SEO, so how to properly set up your crawl before actually crawling anything, things like pre-identifying crawl waste, and how to properly inform your client that you're going to be crawling their website. Things like what to look for when you're analyzing your crawl data and your log files. We also chatted about what Aysun learned when she studied links from the Common Crawl web graph and what she learned about how backlinks may work. We got a little bit into data analysis and how you as an SEO can improve your data analysis skills. I want to remind everyone our sponsor is BuzzSumo, and I'll tell you more about them later on in the show. Also, this was the first of 3 episodes that I'm going to release that were recorded at TechSEO Boost. This one is also the noisiest of all interviews, as it was towards the end of the event and people were kind of trickling out into the common area, but it is still very audible. And as usual, all of the resources and links will be in the show notes at evolvingseo.com/wire in case you missed something. Okay, let's get in today's episode with Aysun Akarsu. Going to jump right in.
I think it's okay.
Okay, so Aysun, it's great to meet with you and chat here at TechSEO Boost, a wonderful technical SEO conference. I'm first curious about your background. On your LinkedIn profile, I see it says that you help companies with high volumes of traffic take their search acquisition to the next level. You do that via data science, analysis, and strategy. Do you think of yourself more as an SEO or a data scientist?
Originally, I'm a software engineer, but I worked as a data analyst for many years, specifically in SEO data analysis. And today, I'm a data scientist, and I still enjoy analyzing SEO data.
Mm-hmm. So it sounds like the two really go together quite well in the work that you do. SEO and data science.
Yes.
They really go together well.
Yes,
I'm
sure.
wondering, can you tell us a little bit more about what analyzing big search data means on sites like eBay, HomeAway, etc.? What does that mean exactly?
It may mean terabytes of data. It can mean petabytes of data also. It depends on the limit you define. Because SEO data is endless. In the past, I crawled millions of pages, and I analyzed millions of URLs. Usually, big websites, there are crawl problems on them. And usually, big websites, they may have spider traps, crawler traps. But nowadays, people are more aware of this, I think, and developers also, because in the past, when we say to our clients about crawl budget, for example, they don't believe us.
Right.
They said, okay, for example, a client, Googlebot was crawling 10 million pages per day, and we told them it's not healthy. There is a problem on their side, and they say, "Why? I mean, show me that. Show me the proof that it's not good for me."
And what do you show them? Do you show them that it's affecting rankings or traffic, or what do they look for in proof?
I mean, we were talking about crawl budget, but they were not believing us. But Google communicated about this subject recently. Yes, and then so everybody agrees on crawl budget.
So if you can point to something Google says, then that they say, oh, if Google's saying this, it must be important.
But before I mean, we were saying, but we didn't have any proofs.
It's good to have that backup from Google sometimes. So I do want to talk more about crawl first SEO, log file analysis. This is something you've written about, talked about. I first want to know, how do you define crawl-first SEO? Or rather, what are we focusing on when we're talking about crawl-first SEO, and why is that important?
In crawl-first SEO, we focus on two main parts in a search engine infrastructure, which are crawl and index. Crawl-first SEO is important because all the pages present on a site are not crawled by search engines, and all the crawled pages don't get indexed, and all the index pages are not positioned on search engine result pages, and all the positioned pages do not become active. By this methodology, crawl-first SEO, we try to understand how Google crawled the site, identify incompatibilities, help Google access useful pages, and help Google understand the site.
And so, what are some examples of tools that you use, or somebody might need to collect that sort of data and analyze it?
I call this 3C process. It is collect, calculate, and communicate. For the collecting part, we need a crawler and a log analyzer. In the market today, there are many tools. It's not like before for crawling and analyzing log files. So we need to collect crawl data from the website by our crawler, but we need to collect crawl data of Googlebot from web server logs. That's why we need a log file analyzer.
I like to use Screaming Frog and Screaming Frog Log File Analyzer. They're desktop solutions, as many people know. Are there certain tools that you like, cloud-based, desktop, for both those collection phases?
I have my own solutions, but nowadays there are really good tools in the market, like Botify, DeepCrawl. Yes, DeepCrawl is here. But
did you build your own tools?
Yes.
For those?
Yes.
That's fantastic.
Yes.
That's great.
Yes.
You never thought about selling them or anything?
No.
You just,
no.
Use them yourself?
They are not perfect.
Right.
Yes.
You know how to use them.
Yes.
But you know what the flaws are. And,
yes. Yes.
That's great. And so you mentioned the 3 C's. That was the first one, collect.
Yes.
And so for the other two, what sort of tools might you need?
For calculating, you have to store the data. There are SQL solutions, MySQL, PostgreSQL, NoSQL solutions, MongoDB, and there are cloud solutions like Amazon and
AWS. So you basically need a database.
Yes, and also Google BigQuery, for example. Yes, and if the search data is really very big, and you don't want to go to cloud and you want to have your own solutions, then there is Hadoop, Hive, for example, and Spark.
Yes.
And then you need to calculate, for example, internal page rank, some metrics about crawl-first SEO. For communicating is you need database. You need to create a database, and there are lots of solutions. I mean, free solutions in the market today. There's, for example, professional solutions also, like Tableau. Tableau is very good. But if you can develop, then there is two popular languages today, Python and R, and they have awesome libraries. For Python, there is Matplotlib, Seaborn, Bokeh, and for R, there are also very great libraries like ggplot, Shiny, and RBokeh also. You can create your own database.
Yeah. And so you mentioned your own crawls and Googlebot crawl data. Are there any other data sources that you might pull together for this sort of crawl-first analysis?
Yes, of course. You can add, for example, external link data. You can add.
Yeah. And do you pull that from Moz or Ahrefs? Is there a particular tool that you like to use for that?
Majestic is good. Ahrefs also.
Do you look for just like link numbers, like how many links per linking root domain, or do you look for sort of quantitative or qualitative metrics? Like Moz has domain authority, Majestic has trust flow. Do you look for those sort of metrics as well?
I mean, crawl first SEO, I focus on the crawl data first, that link data that much. Generally, I do link audits separately.
Yeah.
Because for me, it's already difficult. I mean,
there's a lot to work with.
There's a lot. There's a lot of work to do a crawl first SEO, but we can add more data. I mean, to crawl first SEO if you want. So
before you start crawling and getting all this data, in your presentation slides, you mentioned some things that you can do to be better prepared. What are some of those examples? Because you don't want to just jump into this without thinking it through, right? So how can we prepare for that?
First, I think it's very important to gain knowledge about crawlers. I mean, what they can do, what they cannot do. And then later, before crawling, it's very important to ask your client some questions. To me, the most important question is how many number of products do you have on your site?
Right.
Because this is the main reason we are doing crawl first SEO.
Right.
How many products the client has, and can the crawler, any crawler, can access these products?
Yeah. And is it for somebody that's not e-commerce? I tend to think of maybe if you're a content site, number of articles could be a similar.
Yes, of course, of course.
Right.
And then you should ask your client if the pages return different content based on user agent, perceived country, preferred language, and if there are any blocking accesses, and what's the bandwidth of the server, and what are the preferred crawl days and hours.
Right.
Yes. So then, before crawling, it's important to access and collect data from web server logs, Google Search Console, analytics tools, and sitemaps. And it's important to know the crawler you are going to use.
Yes.
What HTTP headers this crawler is requesting, and how many pages per second it can crawl. Does it respect crawl instructions in robots.txt, source code, HTTP headers, and how does it handle redirections? And then you should follow up the HTTP headers of Googlebot. They don't change often, but they change.
Interesting.
Yes.
Yeah. So to learn all this, do you have like a questionnaire that you give clients, or how do you actually collect this information? Do you just ask them on a phone call, or?
Yes. I send them a document to fill.
Right.
Yes. First, I collect data from the client, and then I collect their data.
Yes.
But there's something important. You can ask questions to the client, but you should not trust their answers.
Yes.
I told this in my talk in Brighton SEO. It's not because they lie to you, or they can lie to you, but it's simply because they don't know.
Yes.
Their website, there are many parts. Many people working on different parts, and sometimes they don't know how things work.
Yeah.
So that's why you should not trust their answers, and you should request sample URLs with different user agents, geolocated IPs and languages to see if the content changes before crawling.
That is a really good point. Yeah, I can see. I've had clients tell me, "Oh, we're using this plugin or whatever," and you go in and look, and it's not even like they just don't know, like you said.
And then you should get to know the server, what kind of server you are going to crawl, and you should pre-identify the crawl waste on the site. It's because you have limited resources. I mean, if you don't have limited resources, if you have time, okay, and money, of course,
Yes. Yes.
you can crawl the entire web, but you have limited resources. So it's good to pre-identify crawlways in order not to crawl it,
Right.
because you will calculate some metrics. So if you crawl, for example, if you need to crawl 1 million, but if you crawl 5 million, 4 million crawlways, then everything will get more complicated.
Right.
So it's important to pre-identify crawlways, and we can do this with by looking at Google Search Console and by analyzing the data we collected from Google Analytics, web server logs.
Yes.
Yeah, that's why we collect these data. in
Right.
fact.
That makes sense.
And then before crawling, it's important to create an efficient crawl configuration with the right user agent, right IP, and right language, and defining the optimum crawl depth. And I may recommend to have a small crawl depth in the beginning, because I mean, if with your crawler you can change it, you can do this.
Yes.
First you select a small depth and then you increase it.
This is great because a lot of SEOs don't talk in detail about setting up the crawl settings at first. And so what is the importance of having the right IP or the right user agent? Because a lot of people just turn on Screaming Frog and they just hit go. But that doesn't sound like it's the best way to do it.
Yeah, no, because the content change by user agent can change by user agent IP and language.
Yes.
So, for example, if the content is changing by Googlebot user agent, maybe they did this clocking, you know?
Yes.
So you should, in your user agent, you should use Googlebot.
Right.
And maybe the content is changing by language. For example, if the site you are going to crawl in French, then if you send English, and if the web server is sending different content in English, and I mean, it's not the right way to do the crawl. So with the IP, it's the same thing. And then later, you should also decide if you are going to keep or not in crawl database the links to robots.txt, the URLs which are defined in robots.txt.
So you're deciding if you're going to crawl the URLs that are being blocked or not.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, it's not crawl because we are not going to crawl, but we will keep in the crawl database.
I see. Okay. So you're deciding what data to keep or discard for analysis.
Yeah.
And so all of this is still in the portion where we haven't crawled anything yet, right?
No,
We're still deciding what to set up and how to crawl.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's the same with the links of the website is sending. Are you going to keep in your crawl database those links or not? You should decide.
The internal links or the external?
No, external links. It depends on what kind of audit you are doing.
Yes.
But it's all because, I mean, if you keep, for example, these links, then the data analysis will be complicated.
Right.
Will take time. That's why.
Yeah.
Each
This must
time.
take a lot of experience of going through many practices of doing this, because you have to run a whole lot of crawls in your experience to think this through for the next time. So you must learn things as you crawl more and more websites to consider.
Yes,
to set up at first.
And also in your crawl configuration, you should avoid crawling crawlways. You should define, for example, you understand that there's a parameter which causes crawl waste. So in your crawl configuration, you said, no, I'm not going to crawl this.
Yeah, what's an example of crawl waste? Would a calendar or something like that?
Yes, it can be, what else? It can be the some parameters, some session IDs, for example.
Or sometimes like an infinite crawl issue. I've seen websites where they just keep adding a URL folder and they keep getting longer and longer and longer.
Yes. But I mean, it is important. Of course, it is good to crawl a website with its crawl ways.
Yes.
I mean, but do you have time? Do you have resources for that?
Mm-hmm.
So,
right. That's important consideration.
Yeah, and then once you have created your crawl configuration file, you should inform the client which user agent you are going to use and which IP.
Right.
And also, you should calculate how long the crawl will take.
Right.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Again, I love the depth of this because I never think to tell my client when I'm going to crawl a site.
But you should.
Yeah, I should.
Yeah.
Is this really for bigger sites with a lot of pages? I mean, does like even a small 1,000-page little content website need to worry about that? Is this big or small? Should we be telling them when we crawl and the IP and everything?
I mean, for the small size, I think it's not that much important. But for the big websites, it is important.
It is.
Yes, it is important because they can block you. I mean, they can think that there's an attack. You know.
Right.
Yeah, and if you tell them, okay, this is the user agent I'm going to use, and this is the IP I'm going to use.
Right.
Yes, and it also shows that you are an expert.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely recommend doing this.
Yeah, I like that point. Are there anything else prior to crawling?
Yes, of course. It's not finished.
Wow, my goodness, this list is super long, but it's great stuff. So continue.
Okay, and then before crawling, it's better to run a test crawl. Mm-hmm. You analyze crawl results, and okay, if you decide all is fine, then you can launch your.
How big is a test crawl? Like 10,000 URLs or?
I mean, it's you. It's up to you. Yeah, it's up to you.
I see.
Yeah.
One thing I saw in your presentation was you talked about the different stages and page types in terms of crawl availability. So you have available, compliant, crawled, and active.
Yeah.
And that's super interesting because I think even a lot of SEOs don't break down crawling into 4 distinct categories like that. But can you explain each stage of that?
Yes, of course. In fact, available pages are the pages which are available to any crawler.
Okay.
And SEO compliant pages are the pages which return HTTP 200 status code, and it doesn't return any other status code. It's not duplicated, or it's not an alternative version of another page, meaning they don't have a canonical tag to another URL, or they don't have no index. And it's an HTML content type it has. So these are the SEO compliant pages, and then crawled pages are the pages which are crawled by Googlebot in the studied time. And active pages are pages which receive at least 1 click from a search engine in the studied period.
I see. So I think I wasn't totally clear on that definition of active before you just explained it, but that makes a lot of sense because I was thinking active might mean indexed, but it actually means it received a click.
Yes,
from
1 click.
Right. Back to available just for a moment. Does that mean it's not blocked in robots? It's basically allowed to be crawled?
Yes.
I see. So what are a few things to look for? And we're going to move on to a few other topics in a moment, such as the Common Crawl Web Graph, which I'm fascinated to learn more about. But what are some things to look for that indicate poor crawl optimization?
Yeah. I mean, once you crawl the website, you should categorize this crawl data.
And what sort of categories do you mean? Like, I don't think you mean topic categories.
Oh, no, I don't mean. But you should, for example, you should know how many listing pages there are and how many product pages there are, and how many popular pages there are.
So this is by page type.
Yes, this is page type. We need to do this. I mean, we can do many type of categorization, but the first, which I do this, it's in fact it's related to crawl, because we should know the number of listing pages. Are they enough, or are they more than needed?
Right. And so do you mean like if it's an e-commerce site with products, do they have enough product pages to account for the different ways people are searching for those products? Or conversely, do they have too many and it's too thin? Is that the type of thing?
Yes. I mean, for example, if you have 20,000 listing pages and you have 2 million products, it's not enough. Right. The crawl cannot go to the product pages with 20,000 listing pages.
Right.
It's not enough.
Right. So is this a matter of the page not existing, or it's something that's not allowing the crawler to get to a page that does exist?
I mean, a crawler usually cannot access to 2 million product pages with 20,000 listing pages.
Right.
It's clear that the crawler access these pages otherwise. Maybe sitemap, maybe the links from another subdomain, maybe.
I see.
Or from another site.
By listing, I think that's also a synonym to category pages.
Yes, right.
I see. So that makes sense. So you're really providing enough crawl paths to get to all the products on a big site.
In fact, there are main category pages and there are sub-category pages.
Yeah.
Yes, they are all listing pages. I mean, these are the pages which provide product pages to the crawler.
And are you a fan of things like large nested XML sitemaps or HTML sitemaps that provide, like you said, other ways for crawlers, or are those really just secondary to actually making the website more accessible?
Yeah, they are secondary.
Yeah.
Sitemaps are good if you have enough crawl budget.
I believe there's been some things, some disagreement among Google and SEOs and etc. about the idea of crawl budget. Google will claim that there's no such thing as crawl budget, but we
Google
yes,
say?
Yeah, they've said unless you have a really large site.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no, and who knows what they mean by large? I don't know if they mean 1 million. So what do you think about that?
No, I think crawl budget exists, and I mean it is impossible to crawl all. Even for Google.
Right, they have to prioritize.
Yeah, they have to prioritize. And as you said, what's a small site, what's a medium site, what's a large site? Somebody should tell us.
Yeah. Before we move on to the Common Crawl web graph, is there anything else that common issues people should look for when they're doing this crawl analysis, similar to what you just mentioned? Any other common traps? What people should look for?
Okay. I mean, there are some crawl traps which are very well known. It's about time, the calendars or television programs. For example, if a website is providing television programs, you can guess such kind of crawl traps before crawling. And but sometimes I had in my career, you cannot find out even after analyzing. You know that there is a crawl trap because Google is crawling millions of pages per day.
Yep.
It happened to me with a client. They told us that they have 3 million classifieds on their site, and Google was crawling 10 million unique pages per day.
Do you trust or rely on the crawl stats in Google Search Console? Where they show average per day URLs crawled, milliseconds per download, etc. Is that a reliable place to get an initial idea that there might be an issue?
No, it's good. It's good to have this, but it's not enough.
Right.
It's better to dive into web server logs and see what it is crawling. So in that particular problem, for example, the problem was search pages.
Yes.
Yeah. And the client was creating search pages each day by the search queries users are searching for.
Oh no.
Yes, but
that's not good.
Yeah, but I mean, it was so huge.
Yeah.
The website is so huge.
Yeah, you didn't notice. They didn't notice.
No, how can they?
Right.
And when you crawl, you don't notice also because in order to notice that kind of changes, you should perform another crawl and compare, for example.
Yeah, and that's another thing people don't talk about is compare and crawl data.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also through web server logs, you can get an idea, but okay, it's big data.
Yes. Yeah. Big data. Just going to take a brief pause to tell you about our sponsor, BuzzSumo. A lot of times, clients ask me for examples of content for topics I've given to them. So, for example, I recommended to a client they create a piece of content about sweet potato facts. Yes, they're in the health and nutrition space. But they wanted to see an example content for some inspiration to get some ideas. You can go to Google and search, but I don't always find the best results. But if you go to BuzzSumo and search, there's a lot of really awesome filters you can use. So you can go back 5 years of content. You can filter out article types like infographics, lists, and videos. You can also filter out thin content or filter in only in-depth articles. And you can also filter by the size of the publisher, by language, and a lot more. And when I did this, I actually found some examples I'm going to send to my client for examples of sweet potato facts. So it's fast, it's easy, it works really well, like all of BuzzSumo's tools. If you go to buzzsumo.com and use the discount code DANSHURE, that's DANSHURE, you will save 30% off 3 months of BuzzSumo. It's like a $75 savings, so not a bad deal. That's buzzsumo.com, discount code DANSHURE, DANSHURE, for 30% off 3 months. So let's talk about this Common Crawl web graph. I saw this post on your site. Search data. How do you pronounce that?
Search Datalogy.
Data. Yeah, I'll put the link in the show notes. Where you talked about the Common Crawl web graph. I had maybe heard of this before, but this is fascinating. So, what is the Common Crawl web graph, and what did they release exactly?
In fact, Common Crawl is an organization, non-profit organization, and they are crawling the web freely, and they are providing their archives and datasets to the public. Since 2011, and recently, they on their blog they published a release of host level and domain level web graphs based on the published crawls of August, September, and October. And I analyzed these subset of data.
And this was a lot of data, right? Like, give us a sense of how much data there was.
In fact, the Common Crawl is very big. The data is very big, but what I analyzed is a subset of this data, which is not that big, but again, it's big. I analyzed 87 millions of rows.
Wow. And is the tools that you need and process similar to what you mentioned earlier, but when we're doing log files and crawling, is it again the cloud-based tools or the databases?
No, in fact, I performed these analysis on my laptop.
Really?
Yeah.
And what did you use on your laptop?
I have my own technical stack.
Wow, you've got all your own tools. That's amazing. I'm gonna steal that. I'm just kidding. I'm not stealing your laptop. So I noticed a few interesting terms of the types of data in there. One was harmonic position, and one was harmonic value.
Yeah.
So Maybe just describe a little bit about what's in this data set and then what these two terms mean.
Okay, in this data set, in fact, we have the domain name information, but it is reversed. We have first the TLD and the naked domain.
I see, yep.
It's a domain information.
Yeah.
And then we have harmonic centrality information. Harmonic position, harmonic centrality position, page rank value, and page rank position, and the number of hosts.
Okay.
Number of hosts is the subdomains of the domain.
And so this is all a link graph. So all of these.
It's not a link graph.
It's not a link graph.
No,
okay.
It's rows. You have domain, harmonic centrality, page rank.
But does the data represent a link graph, or what is the data representing? So
it is extracted from the links.
Okay.
I mean, the big crawl they did. They provide domain level. They said domain level graph.
I see. And so what is harmonic position and harmonic value?
Okay, harmonic centrality, in fact, it is the number of distance from a node to the other nodes.
I see.
To give an example, for example, there is a domain example.com, and 50 sites are giving link to this. For the first step, they say, okay, it is 50, first 50.
Okay.
And then there are sites linking to example.com, but in the second distance, not directly.
2 links away, yeah.
Yes, and then imagine there are 100 sites linking to example.com, but in second distance. Then they say it's not 100, but it is 50.
I see.
And for the third distance, again, if there are 100, they say it is 33.
I see.
So it goes.
Keeps dividing.
Yeah, and they sum up. They sum up these values.
Okay. And then, so does that play into harmonic value? Is that?
It's yes, harmonic centrality they call it. It is yes.
Interesting terms. I think it's good for any SEO to just be familiar with these concepts.
Yes.
Because when we talk about the value of backlinks, this is part of what goes into that understanding.
Yes. Harmonic centrality, and they rank this file according to harmonic centrality, not page rank. It's very interesting.
Yeah.
It's very interesting.
So, what did you learn about the distribution of PageRank or these sites by visualizing this data? And I asked that because I saw that in your post. So, what was the learning that you had there?
Yes, in fact, majority of the domains have a low PageRank, but it's not a scoop. Everybody knows it, I think. But I learned that there is not a correlation between harmonic centrality and PageRank value. To me, it was interesting. And however, when I scatter plot the harmonic centrality value with the PageRank value, first I saw a red line. It's because PageRank, majority of the domains have very low PageRank. Their harmonic centrality value increase, but their PageRank doesn't increase. But what I observed is when the harmonic centrality value was 10 million, the domains began to have significant page ranks, and they began to leave the masses.
I see.
And as the harmonic value increases, I saw that there's a detachment of the masses. It was interesting.
Is the message, maybe I'm thinking about the person trying to improve ranking on their website or search visibility, it sounds like there's really, most links you get have very little value. It sounds like it's really a quality over quantity approach. And that was the takeaway that I saw. And also I merged this big file with the Majestic data. Oh, cool.
Majestic provides open public data as well, where we can find the domains and the ref IPs and ref subnets. These are their metrics. And so what I did is I checked the correlations between ref IPs and the ref subnets with the PageRank. There was a correlation, and ref IPs more than ref subnets. And again, ref IPs and ref subnets, they don't have a correlation with harmonic centrality.
Interesting.
I also analyzed number of hosts as well, as they provide this data to look at if, for example, if you have lot of subdomains, do you have more PageRank? They are not related as well. Yeah, they are not related.
And then, so the last question about the Common Crawl web graphs, on their documentation, on their blog, they actually wrote, "We hope this data will be useful for you to do any kind of research on ranking, graph analysis, link spam detection, etc." So, what are some ways that this data can help us as SEOs, as data scientists, etc., in our ranking research? I mean, you've exemplified a great example here, but what is another thing that comes to mind?
I mean, it is the same as the SEO tools we are using to get insights from data, and this data is free. Only it is big. It is a little bit difficult to access or analyze. So you can see how your client's website is connected to others, and also the competitors, how they are connected, for example. It is good in that way. But otherwise, for example, if you don't have access to web server logs, you can see if your client's website is adding content in the past. I mean, and is there a pattern? Is there a seasonality? For example, you can access years of data, and you can say, oh, okay, they are adding content this month, or this season, or something like this. Maybe it can help you also to identify some technical errors in the past. I mean, these are all helpful if you don't have access to web server logs.
I can see that. I want to chat a little bit about learning SEO. You have an article about this. I'll link it in the show notes. It seems like universities can teach you some things about SEO, but you can't take it all of the way. You can't learn everything you need to know about SEO from a university. So I'm wondering, are there particular challenges that you see that universities have when teaching SEO, or when someone wants to learn SEO in that environment? What are they good at, but what are some things where they might be weak at, and how can we fill in the gaps outside of the university?
Okay. In fact, in my opinion, I didn't make research, but what I observe, I'm talking about my observations. Universities are very good in teaching computer science and data science, and they can teach you how a search engine, how to build a search engine, even. But I mean, for SEOs, for example, how to collect data, how to crawl. I haven't found till now a book about, for example, how to build a scalable crawler. I mean, is there a book? I don't know.
I haven't seen one either.
Yeah, me neither. For example, we have talked before about what should we do before crawling. I mean, are they teaching this?
I don't think they are.
I mean, but it's not their fault. I mean, they don't focus SEO. They focus on computer science, data science, search engines, for example, and also about the metrics. For example, at universities, are they teaching metrics for SEO? Which metrics we should use? When I was in the panel today, TechSEO Boost, I told that today the problem in SEO is we don't have common metrics.
Right.
But one of the reasons is in universities we don't have trainings for SEO. They are not teaching. So everybody has their own metrics. For example, data science, people can understand each other when they talk about machine learning algorithm or how to evaluate this machine learning algorithm. But in SEO, we cannot agree on which metrics to use and how to evaluate these metrics, for example.
So you mentioned how there's a lot of people doing SEO, but not many SEOs do data analysis, but should to improve their skills. What's a simple way for somebody listening to improve at their data analysis and get started with that? Or is there a first step that they can take?
I think they should leave Excel.
Leave Excel?
Yes, they should leave Excel. As you know, big data analysis is getting easier and easier. Today, for example, with Google BigQuery, you can analyze petabytes of data in seconds.
Petabytes?
Yes. You can query. You know, it is amazing. Of course, you have to pay.
Right.
So I think it's getting easier and easier to analyze big data. I recommend them to learn how to code. We talked about, for example, data viz before, how to communicate our results. SEOs need to communicate, and if you know how to create your own graphs, I mean it's very helpful.
Is there a particular language that's good to begin with, or really just anything? Or?
Python is great.
Python.
Yeah.
And so I looked into Code Academy, for example. Do you like resources like that? Is it better to find somebody to teach you, maybe, or? What's a good way to learn that language if you're interested?
Where is the place to learn a language?
So Code Academy is an online website where you teach yourself. It's all self-run software.
There are more and more MOOC. Yes, how do you say MOOC?
MOOC.
Training online or schools.
I don't know what that is.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
We call it MOOC.
It's probably a thing. I'm probably the one that doesn't know it. So I looked it up. She's talking about mooc.org, the massive open online courses. mooc.org.
Exactly. There are more and more, so I think it's getting easier to access information.
Right.
It's not like in the past you should go to university and educate yourself.
Yeah, there's a lot of information out there. So this has been a fantastic discussion. As we wrap things up, I'm curious what you talked about at TechSEO Boost. I think you said you might have been on a panel. What was the panel discussion all about?
The panel discussion was about engineers and developers and SEOs and their relationship, how to be more successful.
Yes, how to work together.
How to work together. Yes, right.
You seem like you definitely sort of. Your work bridges the gap in many ways between those. So
sure.
I'm curious, as an SEO, and most of my audience is more on the SEO side, what are some things that we can keep in mind or do to work better with developers?
SEOs have to speak their language. Of course, developers should learn about SEO as well. But SEOs, for example, should follow up the tools developers are using.
Right.
GitHub, for example.
GitHub,
yeah, it's good to learn how it is used, and maybe they can get involved as well in the reviews. You know, when you review the code, they can also review. Test the code, you know, and then okay, it's passed.
Interesting. So you can learn things about coding without writing code. Like you said, you could go into GitHub and try out the code and test it, right? I mean, you don't have to only learn writing code.
No, you can review. For example, there is a recommendation you propose to a developer, and he implemented it. And you can be a reviewer. How are you going to review? By testing it.
Right.
So if the test passes, you say, okay, it is reviewed. You can get involved.
I find a lot of people try to take an easy approach, like they say, oh, just bring the developer coffee or donuts, you know, and like almost like trick them into, but really it's about putting in the work and understanding, like you said, their language.
And also communicating the results, SEO results. I think it's very important because SEOs communicate the results of the SEO with marketing directors or executive team. They don't communicate it with developers that much. I think generally speaking.
Do you see any marketing being communicated with developers? I tend to find in the companies that I help, unfortunately, for better or for worse, not much is communicated from marketing in any area to developers. And maybe that's just a problem with how businesses are set up in general. Sure. But I mean, if the developer don't know, we ask them to change something, to modify something, but they don't know if it is doing good or not. Right. It's almost like being the plumber in a really beautiful, amazing building, but they never show you the building, right?
It's sad.
I could see how that would be helpful. So you're here in Boston at TechSEO Boost. I know you do speak a fair amount. Is there anywhere you're going to be out there in the real world at an event or speaking where people can see you or say hi to you, or any way they can keep in touch with you and follow you online?
In fact, I don't speak that often. But
you have a lot of slides on your site. Is that from over a lot of years? Or? No, it's not. I gave 2 talks in Brighton SEO in this year and the year before. I don't give often talks. So for the next year, I don't have a schedule. Me neither.
for the moment. But I am on Twitter, on LinkedIn. Everybody can contact me, connect
I'll put them in the
me.
show notes, but just for listeners, in case they don't want to go to my show notes and they're lazy, spell out your Twitter, your Twitter handle and or you don't want to? Or?
No, but it will be difficult. I mean,
I could do it. I have your Twitter handle.
It says my name and surname. It says Aysun Akarsu. Yes.
I have it right here. I'll spell it out for the
And otherwise, my blog's name is Search Datalogy.
So your Twitter handle for anybody listening is AYSUNAKARSU.
Yes,
it's
great.
definitely a mouthful, but that's there you are. That's how to find you. Great. So definitely I'll have people check out you on Twitter and LinkedIn. And by the way, I don't mention this a lot, but every guest on my podcast, Experts in the Wire, I add you to a Twitter list. And there's a way to find it that's easy that I forget at the moment. But if you go to my Twitter, which is Dan Shore, DAN_SHURE, and look at my lists, you'll see a list of every podcast guest.
Awesome.
So for the listeners, and maybe you, if you want to follow along with that, it's a great list. I've had a lot of smart people on the show, so and yourself included. So I appreciate that. So thanks again for chatting. I normally do like an actual outro, but since I'm recording this here.